A Facebook friend recently asked me about the advice, use strong verbs. I'm pretty ambivalent about this advice. I think it's calculated to move a writer from being a really bad writer to being a mediocre writer, but it doesn't really get you to the point of being a good writer. Use strong verbs is an oversimplification or even a debasement of some really good writing advice, and that advice is this. For every sentence you write, figure out where the action is, and then use the verbs that most precisely depict that action. Don't worry about if it's a strong verb or if it's a unique verb or unusual or engaging, or is it the precise verb that depicts the action that you are depicting in that sentence. So think about the sentence, Fernando went away. That verb went away is a little bit general, not very, there are lots of ways to go away. So I think it's really helpful to look at that verb and ask, is there a more precise way to communicate what Fernando was doing? Fernando left, Fernando absconded, Fernando split, Fernando vamoosed. I made a list here. Fernando hightailed it, Fernando slunk off, Fernando vanished, Fernando was called away. All right, those are all different ways of going away, but they all mean different things. Now, is absconded a stronger verb than went away or left? Is slunk off stronger than absconded? It's not very helpful to ask what's strong and what's interesting. The question is, what's precise? What are you trying to say? I think the people who give the advice, use strong verbs, what they really mean is find the motion, find the action, and communicate that way. That is good advice. But to talk about strong verbs, or even worse, to make lists of strong verbs, which you often see in writing websites or writing classes, that's a problem because it implies that if you just plug different words in those slots, you'll have better writing. But the real issue is, are you envisioning what's actually happening? If you get better at envisioning what's going on in a sentence, that's how you get the right verbs, not by consulting a list. I saw on one website that was giving advice about strong verbs, it said something along the lines of, don't say, say. Find something better to say. And so the sentence was, Heidi said she was tired of hiking. And whoever made this website suggested that maybe it'd be better to say, Heidi contended that she was tired of hiking. Because contended, according to this person, is a stronger verb than said. Well, contended is only the better verb if she was contending. So the word contend is not a stronger or a better or more interesting word than said. It's just a different word. Sometimes it's the word you need, and sometimes it's not the word you need. And so the advice, use strong verbs, to me is like the advice, always use a hammer. Well, if you're trying to drive a nail, a hammer's great. But if you need to screw in a screw, a hammer's not what you need. Focus not on a list of words that are supposedly better than some other list of words. Instead, figure out where the action is and use the verbs that most precisely depict that action.